Okay, so in this video, we are going to take a look at adding and subtracting fractions. And there's three specific cases that we're going to look at in this video. So case one deals with fractions that have the same denominator. Okay, this is the most ideal of the three cases that we're going to deal with. So let's consider that we have a problem like 1/4 plus 2/4. Well, because we have the same denominator here, we can just add the numerators. So 1/4 plus 2/4 gives us 3/4. And this makes sense because consider we have a pizza here cut into 4 pieces, and we have 1/4, and we add on 2/4, we end up with 3/4, which is our final answer. So let's consider one more example. Let's say that we have 1/5, and we have to add on 3/5. Well, because we have the same denominator, we can just add the numerators. So 1 plus 3 gives us 4. So 1/5 plus 3/5 gives us 4/5. But let's have a look at what happens when things get a little bit trickier and we deal with case 2. So case 2 here deals with fractions that have different denominators. So what do we mean by this? Let's consider a question that looks something along the lines of 1/4 add 2/3. Well, this one isn't as straightforward because we can't just add these together. They have different denominators, so it doesn't make sense. So what we do is we introduce something called butterfly multiplier. And we essentially build ourselves a little butterfly, give it a smiley face, do a whole bunch of multiplication, and it all works out quite nicely. So we build our butterfly, and we go from top left to bottom right, or bottom right to top left, however you want to draw it. But we do this one first, and we multiply them. So 3 times 1 gives us 3. And then we add on, so we do our add symbol. We're going to add on the other part of our butterfly, bottom left to top right. 4 times 2 gives us 8. And we're going to divide this by the little smiley face that we're going to give our butterfly, 4 times 3, which is 12. And we end up here with 8 plus 3 is 11 divided by 12. So let's consider one more example. Let's say that we have 3/5 and we have to take away 1/7. Well, same principle applies. Let's have another go at building our butterfly. So we go bottom right to top left, or top left to bottom right, however it is that you want to think of it. And we do 3 times 7 there, gives us 21. Okay, so 21. And we're going to take away this time, because of our take away symbol. And we're going to build the other part of our butterfly. It has to go from the bottom left to the top right. So 5 times 1 gives us 5. And then we're going to divide this by the smiley face that we give our little butterfly here. 5 times 7 is 35. So 21 minus 5 is 16 over 35 is our final answer. Okay? Now, case 3 is the final case. And it's similar, or I won't do it in red because I've done one in red. We'll do it in purple. Case 3 is similar, but it deals with mixed numbers now. So it kind of ties everything together quite nicely. So case 3 deals with mixed numbers. So for example, we have something that looks like 2 1/3, and we have to add on to this 4 2/5. Well, this all looks a little bit more complicated than what we had going on before, but it's not as bad as you think. We can do it. So let's rewrite all of this as 2 1/3 means we've got 2 and we're adding on another third, right? So 2 1/3 means 2 plus a third. And we can do the same with the 4 2/5. So we plus 4 2/5. Well, remembering that we can add things in any order we like. So we can add this 2 and this 4 together to give us 6. So we get 6 1/3 2/5. Well, can we add these two fractions together now? So these two fractions here have different denominators. So we're going to use our butterfly multiply that we just learnt. So let's go with 5 times 1 gives us 5. And we're going to add on to this because of the add symbol. And we're going to do the other part of our butterfly, bottom left to top right. 3 times 2, which is 6. and we're going to divide that all by the smiley face that we get, 3 times 5, which is 15. And that in itself can be written as 11 over 15. So if we put that in for here, we end up with 6 plus 11 over 15. That is going to be our answer, and as a mixed number, 6 and 11/15. Now, if we were asked to express this as a fraction, you probably wouldn't be, but if you did, we can express mixed numbers as fractions. We do 6 times 15 gives us, oh, that's a tricky one, 90. So 90, and then we have to add on this 11, 90 plus 11, and we divide it all by the 15 there. So we end up with 101 over 15. Okay, but leaving it in this mixed form is a nice way to leave it. Okay, it's a bit better looking than this 101 over 15 here. So let's consider one more example for mixed numbers. Okay, so just to consolidate our learning, let's go over here. Can I go over to this side? No, it's not going to let me. We'll go underneath. Okay, and we're going to do one more example. So let's do 3 1/4, and I'm going to add on 5 2/3 here. So let's see if we can rewrite this. We can rewrite this as 3 plus 1/4 plus 5 plus 2/3. And okay, well, we can add things in any order. So 3 plus 5 here gives us 8, plus 1/4 plus 2/3. Well, this thing here we can add as fractions from case 2. We see that they have different denominators, so we do butterfly multiply. So 3 times 1 gives us 3. And we're going to add on to this 4 times 2, which gives us 8. And we're going to divide that, oh, bit of OCD, we'll put that in purple there, and we'll divide that by 4 times 3, which is 12. Okay, so we'll divide that by our smiley face, which is 12. So we end up with 11 over 12 here as our answer. So let's put that back into here. We end up with 8 and 11/12, which is equal to 8 and 11 over 12 as a mixed number. Now, we could write it as a fraction, but we probably don't need to. This is in quite a nice little form here. Okay, so we'll leave it there. That's 3 cases with adding and subtracting fractions. We look at the first case, which isn't too bad. We just, same denominators, so we can just add the numerators. Case 2 gets a little bit more complicated, but we introduce our butterfly multiply. And case 3 deals with mixed numbers, which is pretty similar. We just have to take care of this 2 and this 4 by adding them together before we add the 1/3 and the 2/5. Okay, cool.